Hello there, my name is Jonathan and this is Jonathan's Days. This is my channel where I share mostly about knitting. Today is going to be a knitting podcast episode. It has been a minute since there was a knitting podcast episode, so we have lots to talk about. I will dive right in because there's tons to talk about. But I wanted to start by telling you to do two things. Maybe grab a beverage, get settled in. I'm going to take a sip of water. I think we should all drink more water, so please drink some more water today. I don't think you drank enough. Or grab a nice warm toasty beverage before you grab your project or knitting, whatever you're working on. And once you've done all that, hit the like button. I would really appreciate it because it really helps the channel. You've hit the like button. You're already subscribed. Of course you're already subscribed. You've done that. And then you're going to comment a little bit later once I ask you some questions because there's some questions for all of you. And yeah, so it has been a minute since I posted. And this is like the new format, like every 3 weeks. I hope you enjoyed last episode, which was every shawl I've ever knit. It was a super fun episode, so go and watch that if you haven't already, where I go through all the shawls I've made. And also, huge thank you to everyone who bought my utility shawl pattern. I'm like still overwhelmed with how successful it was. How many people purchased it was just, you know, amazing. I'm so grateful to everyone who purchased it. And now it's that kind of thing when you have like launch day, you get all excited and you're like, oh my God, so many people are getting the pattern. That's so exciting. And then you're like, oh, I actually have to wait for them to make the pattern before I can see it. So if you did get it, I hope you have some beautiful yarn and that you're making some nice plans to knit up a beautiful utility shawl. I wore mine tons recently, especially because I've been traveling a lot. So we're going to talk about my travels and what I got up to when it comes to like yarn and fabric and things. And so I've been wearing mine a lot. I hope you have cast on. If you have it or you're planning on casting on, I think it would make a great gift. So yes, thank you to everyone who got the utility shawl pattern. I hope you love it as much as I do. And we will continue on with catching you up on what I've been knitting on. Oh, you can see like bits in the background here. Oh my God, spoilers. Let's pull you all forward so that people don't see. So let's start with finished objects. And when we do start on finished objects, I'm gonna have to move my microphone because it's a lot of neckwear coming up. So let's get on to some neckwear. I've got my knitting needle microphone and we are ready to go to talk about some finished objects. So first I'm going to start off with my first finished object, which I don't think you even saw me, like I don't think you've seen any. Sometimes, you know, with the longer time between episodes, I might have cast something on and cast it off in the time that it took me to film. So I'm sorry you didn't see it in progress, but I did finish the Traveler, I think it's just the Traveler Cowl by Andrea Mowry. Let me... There you go. Sorry, just getting you some glamour shots before I talk about it. I'm actually going to put it on my neck, so it's a bit easier. So here it is. Here is the Traveler Cowl by Andrea Mowry. Andrea Renee Knits. You know, if you've watched me a while, she's one of my favorite designers. I make tons of her patterns. You'll hear about her a lot in this episode. And this pattern, I didn't really have any plans to make this pattern. But the reason I did cast this on is because you can see it is made out of a lot of Spincycle. Now, I am unashamedly obsessed with Spincycle. It is always, you know, boring a hole through my bank account, but I just, you know, the color brings me so much joy. So I follow the joy in my life always, and especially in my making and my knitting. So I cast this on using all my leftovers. So this is literally all leftovers of other projects. And I put them into kind of like a rainbow arrangement, kind of, or just kind of like an arrangement where they kind of float into each other. And I ended up with this. It's kind of a gaugeless pattern, I would say. I used 3.5mm needles to make this one. And I've other cowls by Andrea Mowry that are in this shape, mainly the shift cowl, and they are a bit smaller, I would say. And then this stitch pattern definitely grows a lot. But it was like super enjoyable to use up all my scraps. I really loved that because it is such an expensive yarn. You know, when you're when you have bits left over, you're kind of like, you can really like calculate how much in money that you have left of that color or that yarn. So it was really fun to like use up all the colors, and it's just made this very much like a rainbow, fun, fantastic cowl. So, you know, it's got some of this is Nocturne, is that what they call it? Yeah, Nocturne. The darker one right at the end here, which is probably what I had the most of. I had probably almost a full skein of that, like a lot. And I kind of kept going a bit bigger just to try and use up as much as I could. There's bits here. There's some Castaway in here, I think. Robin's Egg in here. There's definitely, what are the colorways? Light Years is in here. Space Oddity is in here. Tons of colors, and it's just really funky. And I like whenever you kind of like fluff it or move it, there's like a different colorway that kind of shines through. It's, you know, just a fun, I think it looks nice with like a white t-shirt like this because it's so colorful. And that way it kind of goes with everything as well. I do love these styles of cowls. This kind of one with the point, which Andrea Mowry does quite a bit. I do really enjoy it as something to wear, where by the time this goes up, grey, winter is autumn. We don't really have autumn in the UK, in my opinion. Like there isn't like a nice time where it's like bright and like getting slightly colder. It just goes from sweaty summer to grey, kind of cold winter. It's not the best. We haven't had a good year for weather, but that does mean the knits get to come out, and I'm glad that I have like colourful knits to fight the grey on this winter coming. What else do I want to say about this? Yeah, I made it a little bit bigger. It's kind of gaugeless, so I just kind of continued on until I felt like it was large enough. The stitch pattern does grow, so it's definitely like floppy. So it's like more floppy than like the Shift cowl would be, or the DRK Everyday cowl if you've been looking at Andrea Mowry's cowl patterns. But I do enjoy it. I haven't gotten much wear of it, but I will very, very soon. And what else do I want to say about this? Yes. So this is the Traveler cowl, which is in her like Travelers series. So she has a hat, I believe, definitely a hoodie and a sweater and a Traveler shell, which is like a cardigan kind of thing. And I wasn't that bothered about it as a series. I was like, oh, it looks fine, like whatever. And then I made this, and then I was like, oh, I do really love this stitch pattern. I'm going to come up so you can see. So yeah, it's kind of like this stockinette garter kind of stitch pattern. It's kind of hard to describe, but I do really, really like it. I do like how it looked. I really enjoyed knitting it. So I am very much thinking about making the sweater version of it. We'll see. I've been very heavy on Andrea Mowry patterns, and as I mentioned, I go where I'm happy in the moment, but has been a lot of her as of late, so it might be nice to like dip my toe into somebody else. But, you know, I have 2 other patterns by her coming up in this episode, so we'll see. Yes, so this was the Traveler cowl. Highly recommend. Great for using up scraps and bits, and kind of like gauge this if you have like, this is obviously a sport weights, but if you had like a other weight, fingering, DK, what have you, there is like suggested needle size and things like that for this. So you can, it's definitely like a good gift knit. Like, let's talk about, I don't want to say the C word just yet, Christmas, but if we're talking gift knits, I think this is a nice one. Knit up pretty quick, fun to make, enjoyable pattern. And I think it's easy to wear as something to gift someone, you know, if you did it all in one color or neutral, I think it would still be quite nice. I think the texture is really, really beautiful. So yeah, this is the Traveler cowl by Andrea Mowry, so finished objects. I kind of whipped this up. Another reason why I whipped this up was because the last kind of big sweater project I did was the camisole number 9, which was like 3.25 millimeter needles, fingering, tiny, like ton of stitches. So I just kind of wanted to have something fun and easy on my needles, and this was a great kind of palette cleanser from that, I would say. So yes, highly recommend the pattern. Really, really enjoy it. And yeah, that was my first finished object. So let's move on to my next finished object, which is another cowl. Okay, maybe I'll include the footage of me just trying to find the back of this cowl, because I've done such a good job of seaming it up that I couldn't find the back. But yes, so this is my next finished object. Let me kind of fluff it like this so you can see it. This is the Bosca cowl. This is a pattern, I'm going to kind of tilt so you can see it. This is another pattern by my myself. This is in the Bosca series. So I did the Bosca hat, and this is going to be the Bosca cowl. This is the second sample of the Bosca cowl, which I finished pretty recently. This is knit up in Spincycle Dream State and Les Garcons Walcot yarns Fluff. And ooh, the Spincycle colorway is really, ooh, it's really, why has it slipped my mind? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna pause and find it. He's back, he's got it. So the Spincycle color is Next Level and the Fluff color is Shadow. And this is the smaller size of the two cowls. I will put on the first sample so you can see the difference. So this is the shorter, so like less distance here size versus and kind of longer cowl. So it leans down like this. You can kind of tuck it in. You can do, I like it in a coat because you can do this move and then it kind of keeps your chest warm, like when you put it underneath a jacket or a coat. And yes, the other thing I did was I flipped which was the main color and which was the contrast color. I'm actually going to hold up the other one. This is the other sample. This one's got the twist in it. It's hard to show on my hand, but in this one, which is, I'm calling the large size, this one, the Fluff is the no, which one is which? I would say the Fluff is the background color in this one, and it's kind of the main color in this one. Yeah, I would say that. Yes. So that's the difference. This one is also made in Fluff and Spincycle Dream State. So this is in the color Ghost Ranch, and oh gosh, it'll be on the screen what this color is. I don't have it to hand. I think it's Frost or something like that. So that's the difference between the two. Hold on, let me flick around. I will put this one on in a second so you can see. So yes, you can kind of see the difference in the patterning there. And this one is much taller. This one also has a twist in it, which I will show when I wear. But let's talk about this one for a second first. So this is the second sample and it is the second size. This one actually, because I've switched which one was the main color and the contrast color, both patterns use 2 skeins of Dream State. This one just uses 1 skein of Fluff and this uses 2 skeins of Fluff. So it's up to you which you prefer to use. And yeah, this one, I would love to get this out before Christmas. I need to just write up, the pattern is written up. I want to have really good guidance on the seaming. I had lots of people offer recommendations when it comes to seaming. The goal was to not have a sewn bind off with the Fluff. So that's why for this one I swapped which was the main and which was the contrast color. That way the Dream State was what was used to do the sewn bind off. This one used the 3 needle bind off, which is a more visible seam. So if that doesn't bother you, you can do that. So there you can kind of see where the 3 needle bind off is. The other thing that both of these have, which I wanted to talk about, was provisional cast-ons. So while the cowl pattern, itself is relatively simple, the complication from this design comes from the provisional cast-on and the seaming. So for this one, I did a provisional cast-on using barber cord, which is that kind of plastic cord that you use to take your stitches off your needle so you can try things on. I have some so I can show you in a second. And in this one, I used a piece of waste yarn, which was quite difficult with the Fluff to get off. So, and then you could also do a not provisional cast on and do something else completely different. So I want to offer 3 provisional cast-ons and 3 methods of seaming. So that's where the work comes in, because, it would be easy to be like, cast on this many, this is the color pattern, there you go. But the work and the challenge for this is writing up which combinations work well when using any sort of like fluffy yarn to seam up cowls, because I want it to be like seamless. So yes, what I will also say is like, Fluff, it's really freaking fluffy and so warm. Like I can feel my neck heating up. I'm so excited to wear these in the winter. And yeah, so I love the colors as well. Next Level. So Next Level is a yarn story, which is the yarn shop in Bath here in the UK. This is their store exclusive colorway, and it's so good. I'm obsessed with it. We'll talk more about store exclusive colorways later on, but it's just so good. I really, really love it. And this colorway is Ghost Ranch, and hopefully I can pop up a picture on my trip this year. This couple of weeks ago, I went to Ghost Ranch, so I actually saw this place. So I'll talk about that later on. But yes, so what's happening? Oh my God, so frantic, so excited. When can I make this pattern, Jonathan? So the goal is to get this out for Christmas. Would be really, really nice. I need to write up the methods for the pattern, which I will do fairly soon. And then I'll have a test knit. I think it'll be about 8 weeks is pretty doable, I think, with this pattern. And so if I want to get it out for Christmas, the test knit needs to go up fairly soon. And so if you would like to test knit this, the best thing to do is to either subscribe to my newsletter, which will be down, or follow me on Instagram. Those will be the places that it will most likely go up, that you'll like find out right away if you wanted to jump on a test knit, because I probably won't keep it on for very long when I do. So if you do like this and you do want to test knit it, please follow me on Instagram or sign up to the newsletter and you'll hear updates about it there. And yeah, it's a really, really nice pattern. I think it's really fun. It is like a partner piece to the Bosca hat, but the color work has changed. It's still like boxes and like has the same vibe, but it's slightly different because I didn't want it to be exactly the same. You could use the Bosca color work pattern in this though. It does work if you liked that one. But yes, so that's my 2 Bosca cowls. Let me do a little swap so you can see. Cool, so this is the larger size with the twist in it, which kind of naturally makes it fall in like a really cool way. My boyfriend really likes this one actually. I'm probably going to have to either gift this one to him or get him his own. But yeah, so this is the taller one. It kind of will come up higher on the back of your neck. Yeah, there you go. It will come up higher on the back of your neck than the other one. So if you prefer that, that's great. I will say when you make the fluff the background color, it is more yarn. Like I've done the maths. You literally use more fluff in this size, even though there's kind of like a similar amount of like repeats of the color work. So you do feel more fluffy in this one, but I do actually love the look of this one. So I can bring it up closer to you so you can see. Voila, voila. Let's see, can I find where the actual seaming is? Here it is. That's where it seamed. Can you see? It's pretty good. You can just see a slight boop in the middle there. But yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. And then this is the Ghost Ranch one. So I like it. It's like geometric, graphic, but also with the Spincycle, it just kind of softens it a bit with the color changing. And then I think when it's all bunched up, it just looks cool. I'm really happy with it. I'm really proud of it and excited as a pattern. So if you are interested in this, please let me know. And if you are interested in test knitting, that will be coming up quite soon. Yeah, hopefully I could get it out before Christmas. If not, I'll push it into January and then we can all do it as selfishness rather than trying to do it as like a gift knit. But yes, so that is the Bosca cowl. Very excited about that. I hope you enjoyed my knitting needle microphone because I can put it back on my shirt now because it's on to works in progress. So let's go do some works in progress. Okay, so works in progress. I have 2 works in progress. My first one is here in my Hide and Hammer bag. This is the 08, the smaller version of the 3. I'm actually going to pull out the yarn band for this one so I make sure I get the name right. It's definitely in here. Got it. Cool. So this is the second of 3 Andrea Mowry patterns in this episode, and this one you see me make a bunch, but there's a few changes, not changes, but just a few bits to update you on it. So this is, get my eyes out of it. This is the DRK Everyday Sock. This is my 4th fourth time making this pattern. Of this one, I've done the DK one twice now, so I've probably made it about 6 times. It is probably one of the best fitting socks I found out there, but I feel like any kind of ribbed sock does that really well. It is toe up, so you start at the toe, which is my preferred way to make socks, and you just knit your way up. Heel, leg. This one I actually got new needles. So these are the Chowgu needles. I have invested in a couple of sizes of the Chowgu needles because of the camisole number 9, which I mentioned earlier, because the Addy needles, which I normally use, didn't go down to the very, very small sizes, like the smallest they do is 3.5 millimeters in the Addy interchangeable needles. So I went down to got some Chowgus for that project, and so then I was like, had a variety of tips and things in the smaller sizes, which meant I ended up having the 2.25 millimeter to do the sock in. Normally I would do 2.5 millimeter, but here I have 2.25 millimeters, which is a US 1, I believe. And yeah, I mean, when a sock has a tighter gauge, which is a bigger gauge, right? You have more stitches in that per inch or per centimeter. It lends itself to durability. So I said, why not? I've got them. Let's do one of these socks in that size and see how we get on. And so far, so good. I am just working on, let's see if I can show you the increases. Come on, you can do it. Oh, it's my eyes. My beautiful eyes. There you go. Just working on the increases. So I will be increasing up towards the heel, and then you do the heel and decrease all that out. So it just means if this is your foot, you have some increases kind of around this portion of your foot before you get to the ankle and up the leg, which I quite like because I have a high arch, which is nice. What is the yarn? So the yarn is Big Little Yarn Co. Hand dyed in Hyogo, Japan. This is Mel from the Cozy Cardigans podcast. This is her yarn brand, which I love. I've used a ton and I love her colors. And this I cast on right after the Traveler Cowl. And I think I must have been like having a moment when it came to my knitting because I really just wanted to like follow the joy of the color. And that's what this was. Every time I pull this out, I just love looking at it. Like, I mean, I know I just bang on about Mel and her colors, but she is one of my favorite dyers and her sense of color is up there for me. So this was from the Hanami, like the Sakura Spring Festival collection that she did. And this was a sock set, which was in Spring Rain and Haru. So Spring Rain, I believe, is the main color, and then Haru is the tonal, which was a mini. And this is 100% BFL, 4-ply fingering weight. This is non-superwash BFL sock set. So I believe this is, this yarn is like, it's a sock set, so it's spun, hopefully, for good socks. So yes, so I'm doing the toe in the contrast color, and then main color, I'll do the heel will be in the contrast color as well. And then Andrea Mowry on her Instagram did a pair of socks recently, and she must have had a sock set, but she did like some stripes on the leg, which I quite liked. I think she did like 1 or 2 stripes. So if I have enough left of the contrast color, I'll do a stripe or 2 kind of horizontally on the leg. So what I have done is, they're very messy. Yeah, they're very messy, but I split the why can't I say contrast color? I'm so sorry, everyone. Well, I split the contrast color into 2 balls. So I'll do the heel, and then whatever I have left, I'll stripe. And then that will be that. It feels like I have a lot more of one than the other, but the toe, it's like, I'm a man. That was a decent sized toe. So I can show you the colorway in the skein. There you go. Extremely my vibe. Extremely my vibe. And what else was I going to say about this? Yep, that was it, I think. Yep, yep. Love the colorway, love the yarn. Yes, so that is DRK Everyday Sock, knit up in Big Little Yarn Co. yarn. This is her sock set. So Mel generally has like drops. Oh, drops is the wrong word. Like pre-orders generally and collections. So the best thing to do is to like follow her, see what's coming up, and she has like really good clubs as well. She's like a Ghibli club, anime club, and just general like seasonal things. So there would be like, this was like the spring one. She does Spooky Summer, which is one of my favorites as well. Amazing colors in there. And yeah, lots of like nice bits. I'm not sure if she's doing Advents or something. I kind of, maybe I should slide into her DMs and be like, Advents. I've never gotten an Advent. So yes, that is my DRK Everyday Sock. I do the second largest size for my foot, and that does me well. My previous one, I forgot that I did the bottom of the foot just in stockinette, but I forgot to do it this time. So hey, we're doing ribbed all the way over, which is how the pattern is written. So yeah, this has just been done as the pattern is written. So yeah, love the sock. It is my, you know, lunchtime, carry with me everywhere kind of project that you can just toss in your bag and have with you, so that if you need to just knit for a while, that's available to you. So that's kind of like my going around the world project. So yes, that is that. Let's keep going with my final whip. And this whip has been a lot of work. It has been a lot of work. You've seen the very, very beginning of it, and I'm still not done. You're getting previews there. I do pride myself on being a pretty fast knitter, and I was traveling recently. So I've been to Copenhagen and I've been to the States, and I thought that would like give me lots of time to knit, but I feel like I haven't done actually that much knitting on either trip. So, because to really knit, you just need to be sat somewhere. And if you're traveling, you're doing loads of different things, which has meant that this project has taken a while. But I'll just show you. So this is the Tesselated cardigan. This is by Andrea Mowry. So this is the third Andrea Mowry pattern of this episode. I'm a fanboy. And so we've got tons done on this. I believe the last time I showed it to you, it was just the ribbing. I think I just had the ribbing and maybe a little bit of the pattern done. Now we have the button band is done. Hard to see because it's kind of curling over, but yes, the button band is complete, and and the whole body is complete, and we have almost one sleeve done. So if I do this, I don't have the actual buttons yet. I wish I could flip this because I'm like, I swear I did the button band. I swear, there it is. It's there. Button band. So, I can put it on. I put it on, I haven't actually tried on the sleeve for a second. So, I haven't tried it on for a second. Oh, there we go. Cute. Okay, cool. So, I am nearly there on the sleeve. What am I on? 38? Do you think I could get away? I think I'm nearly there. Hold on. Let me look in the mirror. Oh, what do you think, guys? That feels pretty good. It's tough. I find sleeves really, really tough. Sorry to be distracted. I find sleeves tough because it's supposed to like grow a bit as well. I find sleeves tough because there's nothing worse than a short sleeve. I know you can always go back and lengthen it, but who wants to do that? Anyway, let's stand up, give you a look. So, I was a bit panicked about the fit. I was like, this is size 4. And I was a bit panicked because I was like, it is pretty tight and it's a little bit short for me. But in the pattern, she does say that like it does grow like a decent amount. I think maybe 2 inches of growth. And I was like, I'm not sure. I'm kind of worried it's too tight. And it's like a bottom up 3.5 millimeter cardigan with a stitch pattern that doesn't grow very quickly. So it is a real labor of love. And I was worried. And then I was actually looking at my Tesselated vest. So this is my Tesselated vest. This is the cardigan. And I don't know if you'll be able to see, but even if you compare how this is over a year old versus this, you probably won't be able to see, but basically this is like flat. Like this is almost like stockinette. It's so flat. Sorry, I bumped the microphone. This is almost like flat, like it's really settled into itself. It's like almost a smooth fabric. And this is really like bumpy. Like you can tell the stitches are like, pew. So I know it will relax, and I have like the proof that it will relax here. And even like looking at this, like this is probably the size of the cardigan in width and length now. So once it's actually there and blocked, I'll give it quite a warm block, I think, and like get it to like loosen up. So it is the season of cardigans. It is the year of cardigans for me. This is my 3rd cardigan ever. And I have 2 more I want to get done before the end of this year. Another Andrea Mowry cardigan, short sleeve one, or like t-shirt sleeve one, because I have some yarn burning a hole in my stash and I just want to like get it out of here. Get it out of here is the wrong thing. I just like want to use it. And then I have already picked out what I know I'm talking about Christmas a lot, I'm sorry, my Christmas cast on. So on Christmas Eve, I like to do a cast on every year and cast on Christmas Eve usually when I'm at home with my family, and I've picked what I want to do for that. So once I have that will be 5 cardigans in total that I've made. I've really been enjoying them. And so yes, fit, bit tight now. Next episode, you're gonna have, by the time the next episode comes out, it will be 6 weeks from now-ish, and I will have blocked it and worn it tons. So I'm sure it will like fit slightly different to how it is fitting now. But it's not that it doesn't fit now. I would just like a little bit like of length in the body, and the sleeves are a bit tight, but they're not like uncomfortably tight. They're going to relax just a little bit more and be fitted, which is how I like things. So this isn't meant to be like an oversized cardigan like my bandana cardigan. This is like a nice fitted one. So I'm so happy with it, but I'm so ready for it to be done. You know, when you've got a project, I'm like, I love it so much, but I'm so ready for it to be finished. Trying this on now and seeing that the sleeve is really very nearly there. What I'm on 38, I might do 45 just to be sure. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do 45 just to be sure that this is comfortable and I like it. And then this sleeve will be done, and then literally just of this sleeve, one sleeve. Button band already done. I asked in the previous episode if I should do the button band first or do the sleeves first, and everyone rightly said do the sleeves first, or do the button band first, sorry. And I'm so glad they did. One problem is I lengthened the body, which is so often what I do. I usually go off the chest measurement that I want, or what suits my chest. Chest, bust, whatever, same thing. That measurement across here, and then I tend to lengthen the body because I'm kind of taller than most people or most grades that patterns would have. So I add length to the body. So that means you can see where the decrease, it was bottom up, so you can see where the decreases are here. My final button is like here. So it's going to tie here when really it should go up to here. Which is a bit annoying. I don't know if you can do like an afterthought button in knitting. I could literally do a button on my sewing machine. Or is it like, do I get like a little toggle or a little clip? We'll see. We need to like wait and see when it's blocked. I'm sure it will lay fine. Like this is kind of, it's a lot of speculation right now before it actually is brought together. But either way, I'm so happy with it. It looks so cool. The Tesselated pattern, as I mentioned, grows really, really slowly, but it is like pretty enjoyable to knit. Bottom up, 2.75 millimeter needles on the ribbing. So that's the same here. And bottom up, yeah. Bottom up, then you do your fronts and your backs, short rows here, short rows up here as well. So there is a really nice, like this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. This is a 3 needle bind off here. I'm so proud of this. This is looking so good. Okay, I'm excited about it again. I'm ready for it to be done, but I'm excited about it again. Short rows along the back of the neck and here on your shoulder. So you have a beautiful slope, and took ages. So most of my trip to America, it was a 2-week trip, was on this. I was on, yeah, just probably on the body. Hadn't split for fronts and backs yet when I left. And then, yeah, I got all the way up until the button band. Did I get the button band finished on the plane home? I did most of it on the way home. I did the actual buttons. I think I just had the tubular bind off left to do. So to go back a sec, fronts, backs, you do 3 needle bind off to join these two. Then you pick up the button band. The instruction says to do the sleeves first, but we did button band first. I did the button band and then sleeves. So I just have sleeves left. The short rows, Andrea Mowry has done a YouTube video for the short rows. Watch that YouTube video. The instructions are good, but the video is super, super helpful because you're kind of like, what? Super long floats, and then you watch the video. So thankfully I had downloaded the video to my phone so I could watch it on the plane. And yes, so really, really enjoyed, sorry, I'm looking at my watch because it's getting dark. Really enjoyed the video. It was super helpful to have that for this section here, and I'm just really, really happy with the finish. The pickup for the button band, it was interesting. Usually patterns say like pick up, you know, in a different order. It just literally just said pick up, so it didn't have like every 3 stitches or every 3-4 stitches. It just said pick up, so I was fine with that. I feel like it was okay. I got it first try, which I was pretty happy with considering how many stitches it was. I think it was like 300, 400 stitches for me, somewhere there. And then I did do a sewn Italian bind off, I think is the one I prefer to use. It's not the one where you like rearrange your stitches in Kitchener. It's just the one where you just sew your way the whole way around. It's my preferred one. I don't know if it looks much different, but I'm pretty happy with it. Let's see if we can get a, yeah. So along there, it's pretty good. I didn't do the tubular cast on though, because I couldn't be arsed, so didn't bother on the bottom. And yes, buttonholes. I also had a video saved for the buttonholes, which we'll see how they function. Buttons, I have 3 options. I have like a white and a crew, a white and a crew and a navy. My preference would have been this green color, I think, down here, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty not too fussed about what the buttons will be in the end, but you'll hear about it. You'll see it next episode. And what else do I have to say about it? Yeah, it is a labor of love, but it is beautiful. It's one of those that I'm like, oh, this is going to be so beautiful. People aren't going to realize I made it. So yeah, we'll see. Yarn, let's talk. I haven't even mentioned the yarn yet. It's probably been on the screen before. So main color, this is John Arbon Yarnadelic in the color Ordinary Joe. This is their undyed colorway. The fluff, I only have a tiny bit left for this. This is Odang in the color Highwaymen. And this is Spincycle, whoop, dyed in the wool. I only have a tiny, I do have more, it's just the end of these games. This is Spincycle. I'm gonna look up the name. Is it Nicoya? Spincycle. Yeah, Nicoya is this one. So this is their like tonal colorway. So it's like almost, it's not really like color shifting. The shift is like really subtle. You probably wouldn't see it on camera and not when it's kind of getting dark outside. But this is, it's just like a subtle shift. So it's for all intents and purposes, it's like a solid tonal color. But I really, really like it. I like how it looks. I'm very, very excited. It has meant that I haven't made a ton of stuff this year, but we're kind of, I don't know about you, but the mojo, the knitting mojo is really like flowing now that the like weather is changing. We're all like, let's knit everything. So yes, this is my Tesselated, almost done. Just got 1 sleeve left to do. So next episode, you'll definitely see it finished. It is not a beginner's pattern, I would say, and it's definitely a labor of love. Maybe do the vest first, or what's the cowl called? Rad plaid. It's the same stitch pattern. Her rad plaid cowl or her vest. I think or she even has socks, I think, with this pattern. Oh my god, it's really tough today. Not color. Stitch pattern. There you go. Stitch pattern. So you can kind of test it out and see how you enjoy the rhythm of it. I really like it. So yeah, that is the Tesselated cardigan. I'll give you one more kind of close-up shot of it. So good. Nice long ribbing down here. So we'll do some nice chunky ribbing on the front or on the sleeves as well to match. But yeah, super, super happy with how this has been looking. So that's it for the knitting. We're going to now move on to lots of other things that I want to share with you that are going on in my life and work. I'm going to pull up some notes. Cool. First things first, retreat. I have the Knit and Ramble retreat that is coming up very end of November. We have one room left. So if you are anywhere based in the UK since it's coming up quite soon, but if you're anywhere in the world and you want to come and knit with me for 4 days, 3 nights in beautiful Cornwall with Anton of Raw Wool Company, we have one room left in the November, December retreat, and then we have one room left in the March retreat as well. So if you are interested, please do follow the link down below and join us for that. Our final preparations are being crossing the T's, dotting the I's, schedule has all come together, menus are coming together for food and all that, workshops, all those good things. So if you would love to join us for a retreat that is a little bit different, lots of knitting, some hiking, walking, fun times, inspiration, creativity, community, all those good things, the Knit and Ramble retreat, there is still one room left. So if you are interested, please go for it. We would love to have you join us either in December or in March. It's very exciting. I'm really, 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 really excited about it. I think we have a nice group already that is going to join us. So I'm very excited to meet them and knit with them for those 4 days. Other things that I'm also doing, if you don't want to come to the retreat, I'm based in the UK. On the 9th of November in Woolwich Works here in London, there is the Make Joy knitting event, which I will be attending. And I'm also going to be part of the Knitters Question Time panel. So it's me it is organized by Anna from Wild and Woolly, the yarn shop. And so I will be there on the panel. Anna will be, what do they call it? I was going to say maitre d', but it's not maitre d'. Master of Ceremonies, emceeing, hosting the panel. Then Wendy Peterson will be there, who is from Yarn Sub. I'll be there. Sylvia Watts-Cherry and then Belen Fernandez as well will be there. So there will be 4 of us who are on the panel, and it will be hosted by Anna from Wild and Woolly, and it is going to be into a Knitters Question Time panel. So we'll all share our thoughts and things on questions that people submit. So that's quite cool. So you'll see me there as well if you're going to that. So if you do see me bopping around either of those, I'll be wearing something different probably at the Make Joy event if I can knit it up fast enough. So yes, those are all coming up. So if I do see you there, that would be amazing. I'm going to go back to my notes because I don't want to forget anything. Okay, cool. Upcoming events, retreat, yes. Let's talk about what I picked up on my trip. If you're not that interested in acquisitions, have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. And if you want to see, let's talk about the places I've been. I went to Copenhagen. I went to Copenhagen for a long weekend. I love Copenhagen. It's my second time there. I always have a great time. They have good bakeries, good coffee, and good yarn shops. So kind of everything I need. So the last time I went to Sommerfuggen, which is one of the kind of big main knitting shops there. And while I was there, I couldn't go to this knitting shop, which is Knitting for Olive, because it was closed. But this time I made a point of being there. We were there through to the Monday, and they were open on the Monday. We went for brunch. I highly recommend going to the brunch at Madden Cafe, M-A-D, and Cafe, K-A-F-F-E. That is a lovely place for brunch. You like pick little plates and it's nice and like some traditional bits and nice brunchy bits. So go there. And then Knitting for Olive is just up the street. There are 2 locations, I believe, in the Copenhagen area. So yes, I went to the one that's near Madden Cafe. So yes, go for a nice brunch there. Then I went to the Knitting for Olive store. It is beautiful, so nice. It's interesting, different yarn shops have like different vibes. So a lot of them have like cozy, Aladdin's caves, like loads of like yarn everywhere, abundance, you know, lots of nooks and crannies, real exploratory. They have everything, like theirs is more like clean, minimal. So like they have all the yarn on like shelves lined up by Colourway. They have all their pattern samples like knit up on hangers so you can check all the, like I didn't realize how many patterns they have themselves, like Knitting for Olive have themselves. They're all there, including their kids' patterns. They have swatches of, I feel like everything. Maybe I can pop in a little video. They have like this big ring with like all the different swatches and you can look up how they all work. The nice thing about Knitting for Olive is that like their yarns, obviously it's just their brand of yarn there. So they really have like gone to the effort of making sure that their yarns interact with each other really, really well. And they have swatches to like prove that. So even the like, the gauge and stuff matches really well between the different types of yarns. So yeah, really, really nice experience. Staff in there were super, super nice and friendly. It was like, there was quite a few people in there. So it wasn't like I didn't hang around and chat too long. Also, I had my boyfriend with me. So like, you know, when you bring your boyfriend, you kind of don't want to like spend too much time in there. You just want to like, I don't know, almost get in, get out. But yes, it was really, really nice, beautiful store. One thing they didn't have was music. None of the yarn shops I went to that I'm going to talk about had music, which I always find very strange, like some chill music. Anyway, so yes, Knitting for Olive, beautiful store, lots to see. You can see all the colors and obviously they probably have most things in stock. So what did I get? I got 2 things. I don't need to pull them all out, but I've been like having like, I love purple. So I had like a purple moment and I got what is essentially a sweaters quantity. I got 4, 5, 6, 7 balls of the soft silk mohair. And this is in the color, it's got a funny name, Unicorn Purple. So it's like such a soft purple, and my plan is to hold this with another fingering weight yarn which is like a gray silvery color, to make another sample of my sweater pattern. Yes, it's not going to come out this year, sorry everyone, it's just not going to happen, the time doesn't work, but early next year hopefully we'll be able to get it out. And so my second sample will be, instead of a DK, it will be a fingering and mohair. I'm hoping I can like make the gauge work between the both of them and make a slightly different pattern, but I wanted to use this with a gray. So it's kind of like this is already quite a pale purple. And then I thought like if it went with the gray, it would be like even just like, it's gray, but you're like, isn't it like slightly purple? And I'll be like, yes, it is. So I got enough to make the sweater that I want using this. And yeah, because I also want to make a slightly larger size than my first sample, maybe 2 sizes larger, because I wanted to be slightly oversized for my second sample. Then I also haven't graded it quite yet. So I didn't know how much I would actually need. So I got probably more than I needed, but that's the fun and joy of designing. And then the only other thing I got is I got 3 skeins of the cotton merino, which I adore. I adore the cotton merino so much. I got 3 skeins of this is the undyed. So it's kind of like yellow. I mean, it's almost got little like flecks in it. It's just like it's undyed, but I would call, like it's literally called undyed, I believe. Yeah, undyed, but I would almost call it natural. You know what I mean? So this one, I only got 3 skeins. I only need 3 skeins to make another camisole number 9, but I was DMing with someone talking about, no, I can't do another one till next year. Obviously, there's no point making another like tank top camisole when it's turning to winter, but when I do, I will use this because the cotton merino is one of my favorite yarns. It's so good for summer knits. And also this is in the white or a very light colorway, so it'll be easier to see when you have to do all those like complicated bind offs and sewing. So that was Knitting for Olive in Copenhagen. You gotta go. You gotta go if you're a knitter and you go to Copenhagen. Sommerfuglen as well is beautiful, like more of a traditional yarn shop. But if you can only go to one, probably go to Sommerfuglen. But if you like Knitting for Olive, you can definitely go there. And if you want to see all their patterns, like it's a really, really nice experience. So I did have a really, really good time. So yes, do recommend that. 2 weeks after that, we went to the States. So where did we go? We went to a lot of places in the Midwest, through a couple of states in the Midwest, and then we spent some time in New Mexico as well. It was a long trip, so I had a lot of stuff with me in general, just packed. So I didn't have a lot of space for yarn, so I didn't get a lot at all, really. But I want to show you. First of all, I spoke about the Spincycle problem I have. You know, it's like a joy to make the Spincycle. So what I did is I went and found anywhere I was going where there was an exclusive colorway in that store, in that state I was in. I said, oh, I'll pop there and see if they have their exclusive colorway and get that. So the first one I went to is in Minneapolis. Is it in Minneapolis or St. Paul? I think it's in Minneapolis. So yes, I have family in Minnesota in St. Paul, so I go there pretty regularly, but this is the first time I've been to this store. This store was called Harry and Alice. It was in Edina, I believe is how they pronounce this. Edina, I think it's Edina. And it was a beautiful store. Like the thing about all the stores in America, they were much larger than the stores that I'm used to. I'm used to kind of European cities where like space is at a premium, but these were all like, for me, quite large yarn stores. So you could really like weave your way through. They had loads of space, which is beautiful. We went upstairs where the Spincycle was, and they had like a table where they were about to start a class. So it was a really, really nice store, really nice selection of things. You know, more affordable yarns, nicer luxury yarns, all that kind of thing. Lots of tools, lots of books, and just super, super nice staff. So highly recommend Harry and Alice. And so I picked up 2 skeins of their Spincycle exclusive colorway, which is called Hot Dish. And this one is like a pretty tonal, but this one definitely has like purples, oranges, pinks. And when I was there, there was maybe, I think there's maybe 3 or 4 skeins of this left. So I got these 2 because I liked how they looked together and they had a bit of variation, which is quite nice. They have since had this colorway restocked, I do believe. So I think I saw on their Instagram. So if you did like this colorway, let me just give you another shot of it, then yeah, it's back in stock. But yes, I got these 2, super, super nice. Then we headed on through to Wisconsin. We went to a lot of art museums, and the Wisconsin Institute of Art was amazing, super amazing. But before that, we stopped at Cream City Yarns, which was like a beautiful, it's almost like a little cottage. We just kind of were like, there it is, pulled up, super, super nice store. Again, like so much more space than I'm used to. Really nice curated selection, space for teaching, which I always love to see, that there's like space for like communities within these local yarn shops. And yeah, I really, really liked the shop. The owner, not the owner, whoever was there, like the shop person there was really, really nice and friendly and chatted, and yeah, it was just like a super, super nice experience. So the colorway I picked up there is their Spincycle colorway, which is called Cream on Top. Now, I don't know about you guys, and I don't know how long you've been watching my channel, but could this be more of a perfect colorway for me? Like this is just, it's just me. It was like blues, browns, oranges. Look at this. So nice. So, so nice. So yes, this is the colorway Cream on Top. This is in the dyed in the wool. Both are dyed in the wool that I just showed you. And yeah, I absolutely love this colorway. It is very, very me, very my vibes. It was really tough not to get like some Dream State. They have Dream State. I think they have Plump as well. It was very tough not to get the other like weights of this yarn in this colorway, and it was tough not to get more than 2 skeins. I feel like 2 is like you can do like a yoke with 2 skeins or something like that. So I tend to like, if I don't really know what to get, I get 2. I would like to get 3, but, and then also, as I mentioned, Spincycle is not cheap. So I wasn't able, like, you know, they're not going anywhere. So if I really did want to, I could always order some online, but beautiful. Cream City Yarn in Wisconsin, super nice shop. And finally, New Mexico. So I didn't get yarn here because I'd already gotten some yarn, but I went to Haru, which was in, where were we? Santa Fe in New Mexico at the end of the trip. And I went in there, and beautiful store. Again, one of these, like, you know, I always call it like Lego houses. You know, like America, they just have these like little houses. They look like they're made out of Lego and just like plonked into the landscape, essentially. So Haru is a yarn shop and fabric shop. Beautiful space, so much space. Again, space for like working and making, and there's a section for yarn and a section for fabric and a section for notions, which I just really, really loved. And so when I was there, I picked up some fabric for sewing. This is the fabric I picked up. I felt like it really had like a New Mexico vibe, which is why I really liked it. So the plan with this is to make like shirt shacket, you know, like a work shirt out of this, which would be, I think would be super, super nice. And probably for next year, next summer. So I picked up some fabric from Haru, but they did have a lovely selection of yarn, which is really, really beautiful, and I really, really enjoyed, and had a great chat with the owner as well about some like sewing bits. So it was really, really nice. People in yarn shops 99% of the time are just super lovely and super happy to chat with you, unless they're super busy, which I totally get. But I'm always grateful that they like are happy to like talk with you. And in all of the shops I visited, all 4 shops, they're always happy to talk to me. So yes, that is my local yarn shop adventure through Europe and America. So yeah, it was a really, really great time in the States, family, friends, time knitting, which is great, and then a lot of art. So I got to see a lot of art, visited Ghost Ranch, which the Colourway comes from, which is amazing. A lot of great Georgia O'Keeffe art, if you like that. So yes, it was a great trip, great time, but now I'm back. And then that's it. Next video is going to be one of 2 things, and I'm going to try and put a poll down below because I want you to tell me what you want next in the video. So I have 2 videos. One is a reading update. All the books I've read so far this year, so it'll be Q from January to September. And I can share what I've been reading, what I've liked, what I haven't liked, what's good, what's bad, what's fun, like that. So that's your optional video for next video. Or I also have my journaling system. So what journals I use, what stationery I use. I use 1, 2, 3, about 5 or 6 journals. I use traveler's notebooks, Hobonichi, lots of pens, fountain pens, all that kind of thing. It's another big interest of mine. So those are 2 interests I have: reading and stationery, journaling, logging, whatever you want to call it. Those are my 2 options for the next video. So if you want to have a preference, put it down below, either in your comment, or I'll have a poll down below if YouTube has that function, which I think it might do. Choose your option, what you prefer, and then that will be the next video. That will be up in about 2 to 3 weeks after this video. If I see you at these fun events, that would be great. And if not, then we'll see you for the next fun video. And then the knitting updates after that. There'll be a long time. We'll have a cardigan finished. We'll have, will we have like a new design? I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about my knits at the moment. It's definitely like that bubbling fun feeling. So I want to get like loads done before the end of the year. I'm so inspired. I'm so enthused by lots of things. And then I also want to get some gift knits done. You know, I'm not a huge gift knitter, but there's some people in my life that really, really deserve them this year. So I'm going to get on that as well. So that's all to come. Please comment down below, all that thing. Thank you for staying to the end. let's, you know, oh my God, if you've got some knitting, maybe let's just like roll our neck out for a second. Oh gosh, do a little tilt. A little tilt. Yeah. And then do one of these, you know, when you stretch it out and you just pull gently on your fingers back, stretch your forearms. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let's do this one. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye.